What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, and welcome to episode 8 of our 30-part series on every single GMAX Pokemon. Every episode, I have a guest on the channel to discuss how to use a specific GMAX Pokemon. We'll be going over stats, move pools, potential teammates, impact on the Sword and Shield Draft League meta, and at the end, give it a ranking. Once the series is over, I'll make a video covering the top 10 GMAX Pokemon in Sword and Shield. On this episode, we are covering the final Galar starter on the series, GMAX Cinderace. If you missed the videos I did on GMAX RILLABOOM or GMAX Inteleon, make sure to check them out. The links are in the description. But now it's time to introduce our guest. He is the coach of the Kentucky Torcats and the commissioner of the BBR, or one of the commissioners of the BBR. That is going to be MidPokeMaster.
Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy MidPokeMaster here, and today we'll be discussing GMAX Cinderace.
I'm excited for this because GMAX Cinderace is one of the coolest Pokemon out there. It's a huge fan favorite, amazing design, amazing ability, but at the end of the day, this thing has its weaknesses and its positives, and we're going to be covering that today. And if you guys want to see more of Mid, you can check him out. His channel and his Twitter link will be down in the description as well. And if you'd like to vote on which Pokemon I cover next, stick around. There's a straw poll link that's in the description, and I'll let you know how to vote on that and the options for that at the end of the video. Alright, Mid, so why don't you tell me this? What about GMAX Cinderace stands out the most to you?
I just think about its attack side and its speed side is really great for it. It's one of the fastest mons in this metagame where the metagame is really just naturally slow. And with that base 116 attack with its move pool coverage, it just hits super hard. Its
speed and attack stats are perfect for a great wall breaker or a really solid late game cleaner, because once you weaken your opponent's team, you got priority, you got the great speed stat, powerful moves. Really nothing is going to want to take hits towards the end, and I feel like even its bulk is pretty decent considering how strong its offenses are.
Yeah, it has the 80 HP, 75 defense, and 75 speed def, which isn't like insane. That's still enough to take one or two like non-super effective hits and just be able to hit back super hard.
And one thing we do have to mention about Cinderace, and it goes without saying, Libero versus Blaze. Obviously, Libero is completely broken, and having the ability to change your typing will benefit you on the offensive and the defensive end. So do you think, I just want to get your opinion on this first, do you think Libero Cinderace should be banned?
I think it should be banned in standard like Wi-Fi Draft League. It's just with a limited amount of mons plus this coverage it gets, it's just completely broken.
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to say it right now. You guys will probably hear it later on, but with Libero, this is the best GMAX Pokemon out there, and it's not even close in my opinion. So yeah, but Blaze at the end of the day is still pretty good because Cinderace itself is a really good Pokemon. Now, we can't really have Cinderace on its own do everything. It needs to have some teammates put in the work with it and allow it to get in those positions. So what are you thinking of as teammates or Pokemon that fill certain roles with GMAX Cinderace?
I think Tangrowth is an amazing potential teammate. It's a new mon in the latest DLC. It can defensively deal with all the types that Cinderace is weak to, being water, rock, and ground, and it's just able to pressure them super hard with the Giga Drain or a Power Whip.
Tangrowth is phenomenal. It has Regenerator, which is very nice because you do a lot of pivoting with Cinderace. Even if you're not Gigantamax, you're going to be using U-Turn a lot. For me, I kind of went with another regen Pokemon. That's going to be Slowbro, also new to the DLC, but it's a slow pivot with Teleport. It's a Regenerator Pokemon and has insane bulk on both ends, whether you're running naturally defensive or a Assault Vest set to be more specially defensive. But I also had Clefable on my list because of Stealth Rocks, and again also because of Teleport and the Thunder Wave support that both of these Pokemon get.
Yeah, Cinderace loves just to be able to like hit them on super hard, but then be able to fast U-turn out into a mon that can take any hit that the opponent's going to hit you with.
Right, and there are obviously other options. I feel like something that can really do good removing for you. Something like Rotom Wash or Scizor are very important because you don't want to be running heavy duty boots on your Cinderace every single time. Of course, it's a fantastic item because you have access to Core Change, but running something like a Rotom Wash or a Scizor will allow you to get really good defog opportunities while also preserving the momentum. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would 100% agree with that, because you don't always want to run heavy duty boots like you said. Sometimes you want to run the Life Orb so it hits even harder in that GMAX form.
Now, you mentioned it a bit, Cinderace has phenomenal coverage and it really takes advantage of that with its Libero ability. But Fire and Fighting are phenomenal. High Jump Kick, Pyro Ball, beautiful animation, we all love that. It's got Acrobatics, Gunk Shot, Iron Head, Zen Headbutts, and there's Sucker Punch and U-Turn as well. Are you thinking of any type of attack that's missing in order to be even better, or do you think this is pretty much all it needs?
It basically has everything you want it to, besides a good move to hit water types. It does have Electro Ball, but with that special attack set, it doesn't hit super hard, but otherwise, it hits every mon for almost super effective damage.
The best part about it is the types that it actually turns into if it's running Libero, types that are not, I guess, weak to, they don't share the same weaknesses that Fire does, is what I want to say. And that's huge because you want to take advantage of your Libero, both offensively and defensively, if you are able to run that set. And again, I would suggest running that if you can. Now, in terms of items, I have two in mind. Heavy Duty Boost, and Life Orb. You mentioned Life Orb before. Do you think there's anything else that would really be as good as those two on Cinderace?
I honestly think those are probably the best two items, especially when it's a GMAX Cinderace, just because none of the choice items affect you in the GMAX form. If you have heavy duty boots when you can't run hazard removal, so you don't take that 25% on switching, but with that Life Orb, you just hit that much stronger, especially when your moves are like base 120 power. It just makes it an even bigger wall breaker than it already was.
Absolutely. And one thing I kind of want to mention, but it's not the greatest. I can see it being a possibility because, Draft League does crazy things, but Assault Vest, 80 base HP with 75 base special defense is good enough to be able to take a hit, and when you're doubling your HP stat when Gigantamax, you're still hitting hard. You have your boosting moves like Max Knuckle and Max Airstream. Is that it for the flying types?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's Max Airstream.
Yeah, so those moves will allow you to really just sweep well, and if you have that extra bulk, you may not need the extra power that Life Orb provides you. So we have one last thing to talk about, and that is going to be the place in the meta, the ranking. Where would you rank Cinderace, Libero, and Blaze? We'll start with Blaze, just because, Blaze is the one that's going to be most commonly used. If you could rank it 1 to 10, where would it be?
I would honestly rank it 8, just because Cinderace is already a really good mon within itself, so when you make it GMAX, and it can just raise its attack and speed just by clicking buttons it already would, I think it just makes it 10 times better. But with Libero, I think it's honestly easily like the best GMAX or the second best, just because it being able to have stab with any move with the super strong just GMAX moves in general makes it easily one of the best GMAXs at 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so Libero I had as well, 10 out of 10. It to me is the best GMAX out there. I don't even really have to look at anything else. The other Pokemon I was considering as being number 1 don't even hold a candle next to Libero Cinderace. If it's Blaze though, you went with an 8. I'm actually going with an 8.5 on this. I can't confidently say that it's better than Rillaboom, but I also can't say it's worse than it. So just for the sake of the video, I'm going to give it to Rillaboom, but you never know, things can change. I am doing a top 10 list, so we'll see how that shakes up when we get to that point. What about you though? Do you think it's better than Rillaboom when it's Blaze?
I think it is, just because I used Rillaboom and I didn't think it was that great of a mon. I haven't tested with GMAX, but Cinderace is a mon that I like because it just can click buttons, and when it's in its GMAX form, it just clicks it just hits even harder.
Well said, but at this point, since this is the last video in the series of the 3 GMAX Color starters, how would you rank them from 3rd, 2nd to best?
So personally, I would say GMAX Cinderace is the best, then Inteleon, and then Rillaboom, just because I like that Inteleon, because water type I believe is a very good offensive typing, and with his GMAX move it can go through like Water Absorb or Storm Drain. And then I think GMAX Rillaboom isn't terrible, but it's just something I personally don't like.
Fair enough. For me, I would go Rillaboom, Cinderace, and then Inteleon if we're talking about Blaze Cinderace. But they're all so close. I think I actually gave Inteleon an 8, and I gave the other two 8.5, so they're that close to me. So honestly, it's a coin flip. We can go with whichever one you want. If you guys draft either 3 of these, you're in for an amazing season. They're really strong mons. As long as you pair them with the right teammates, you're going to do amazingly there. Was there anything that you want to mention when it came to GMAX Cinderace?
Not really. It's a pretty straightforward mon. You just really want to be able to wall break with it and just click the buttons that just destroys your opponent's team.
Max Fireball. That's all I gotta say. Move is busted. Great animation. Have you seen the animation yet?
It's been a while since I've seen the animation.
It'll be on the background of the video. You guys will see it. It's honestly phenomenal. It's beautiful. Well, you guys have heard what we think. Now I want to hear from you. If you're watching this video, comment what is your favorite or least favorite thing about GMAX Cinderace or the GMAX mechanic in general. I would love to read your responses. Also, let me know which GMAX starter is your favorite out of the 3 we've covered. If you want to learn more about GMAX Pokemon in general, feel free to check out the rest of my series. I've already covered 8 different ones. Going to be 9 starting next Wednesday, where we're going to be covering GMAX Cinderace. And if you'd like to vote on which Pokemon I should cover in episode 10, your options are GMAX Dreadnought, Sandaconda, and Orbeetle, and you can vote in the straw poll link in the description. If this is the first time you've ever seen one of my videos, consider subscribing. You've already made it this far, so that means you probably have enjoyed what you've seen. Thanks for joining me today, Mid. I appreciate you coming on to the channel. Why don't you let the people know where they can find you?
You can find me down, I believe you'll put me in the description, my YouTube channel. I upload multiple Wi-Fi draft leagues. I'm posting a recent update video where I'm going to be posting more just standard Wi-Fi battles and showdown lives. And I'm about to become a Twitch affiliate, so I'm going to be streaming there more often.
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube will all be linked in the description for Mid. He's a great guy, great battler. Make sure to go and check him out. I appreciate you guys all for sticking around and watching this video and enjoying this series, and I'll see you on the next one.